Shalom family, trendsetter, driving so you will hear some noise in the background. Hey family, listen, I got a personal question I want to ask y'all. But listen, I want y'all to come close. I don't want nobody to hear the question I'm about to ask y'all. Please come close, because I don't want nobody to hear what we're saying, what we're talking about, right? All right, check this out, right? Could it be possible that me and you and your family and my family are walking around with the coronavirus because we never been tested to see whether we have it or not? Shh. Hold on. Somebody's coming. Okay, let them pass. All right. So let me ask that question again. Could it be possible that you over there too, come closer, man. Could it be possible that we have the coronavirus and we don't know anything about it because we have not been tested? There haven't been any tests for us to administer to ourselves to know whether we got the coronavirus or not. Because your commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, have not provided this test yet. I've heard of scenarios, family, where people go to the hospital with the symptoms, and the first thing they do, they give them a flu test, right? And if the flu test come back negative, then it's possible that they have the coronavirus, but they still don't get a test. My wife is a nurse. She told me this shit. Don't tell nobody I'm telling y'all this, please. I don't want to get her in trouble. So could it be possible the chemtrails that they've been spraying all over the world, not just here in the United States of America? Look at the sky. That's chemtrail. You know what I'm saying? Could it be possible that shit, that poison that they've been spraying in the air, giving us this flu coronavirus, is what is making us sick? And because they know what the fuck is going on, they're not giving us a test. See, Trump is kind of smart. Somebody said on my last video that Trump is a good guy. Okay, so say you. I beg you differ, sir. I beg you differ, sir, or ma'am, or whatever the fuck you were. I don't think so. Trump is a devil. Trump is only for himself. Trump is actually a clone, heartless clone. But anyway, family, for real, I don't think we know if we have the coronavirus, because we never been tested. I haven't been tested. Have you? Have you? What about you over there? You've been tested? No. So how the fuck do you know, whether or not you have the coronavirus? And I know a lot of you are gonna say, I don't got that shit. How do you know? Is it because you're not getting sick like others? Is it because you don't have a respiratory issue? Like a lot of y'all don't smoke cigarettes and smoke weed and smoke hookah and smoke that shit, that fake, whatever, alternate cigarette shit that y'all be puffing on. That's making your respiratory, what do you call it now, inside fucked up. So when you do get the coronavirus, a lot of y'all succumb to the shit. Like elderly people, that have weaker lungs. Is it because maybe you have a healthy immune system? That's why you're not feeling the symptoms? Let me ask y'all an honest question. This is another question, right? Don't let nobody hear this question. Tell the truth. Since they announced the coronavirus, don't you feel a little bit like sick? A little bit something. Sometimes you feel a little, something in your throat and shit. Sometimes you sneeze. You wonder, do you got the coronavirus? You might have a slight headache. Think about it. How do you know you don't got the shit? You probably got the coronavirus. It's just that your body's able to fight it off, especially if you're melanated, right? You could have this shit because the kids don't get it as much. Younger kids don't get it as much. You know what I'm saying? Young people get the shit and they don't die from it. Only elderly people, because a lot of elderly people have underlying medical issues like heart problems and shit. So of course, if it's a respiratory kind of situation with this virus, so-called flu virus, because that's what the fuck it is. It's a corona flu virus. That's what I call it, right? It's gonna mess with your respiratory, organs and shit. So that's gonna make it hard for you to breathe. You like your lungs and shit. It's gonna fuck with your heart. So that's why you see a lot of elderly people dying from it. But how do you know? How do I know I don't have this shit? You know what I'm saying? We don't know because we never been tested. Have you? Be honest. You haven't been tested, right? And I'm sure you felt a little something. But because we have good immune system, we probably done overcame the shit already. But guess what? Once you get it and you don't have symptoms, you can transfer it to someone else. Someone else can get it because you in your middle. How many of y'all go home every night, try to get some from wifey or try to get some from your husband? So you're having close contact. So how do you know? You telling me every hour of the day you walking around, you're just that one Superman or Superwoman that is immune to this shit. You telling me you are amongst like thousands of people every fucking day, right? Touching shit. You know what I'm saying? Going to the store, grocery store, whatever, touching on shit, and you telling me that you're so protected that you haven't obtained or what's that word I want to use? Contracted that disease? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all crazy as fuck. Listen, I don't know if I got this shit. I don't want it, but I don't know if I got this shit, right? I don't feel like I got this shit, but who knows? We wouldn't know because we never been tested. And that's one of the reasons why your president, the commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, have held back the test this far. Because again, he don't want it to be, first and foremost, he don't want it to affect the stock market, and he don't want it to be a crisis here in the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? And in closing, I have this one last question to ask. I think I asked this question before, right? The Pope, he lives in Rome, Italy, Rome, right? That's where the Vatican is. He's supposed to be the vicar on earth. He's supposed to be Christ on earth. You're telling me if he have a one-on-one relationship with God, right? Whoever God is, because God is a title and God is actually Satan. That's who the fuck you Christian worship on a Sunday. You're telling me the Pope, the vicar on earth, can't put a word in for Rome? You know, for the Romans and shit, the one that crucified their Christ, right? The same Romans who is in charge of Christianity, incidentally, was the one that killed Christ, according to the story. You're telling me the Pope? Come on, man. How selfish is he? I'm sure he got his blessing. I'm sure he probably got the coronavirus and probably was ill, miraculously healed by Mary or the saints or whoever the fuck they worship. You're telling me all these Italians, right? All these Italians are dying from the coronavirus more than even in China. They said the shit originated from China, Wuhan, China, right? I know the shit originated from a lab in Wuhan, China, but they saying it came from a seafood market. So you telling me the shit originated from China and you have more people in Rome that died from this shit? They said over 200 people per day is dropping dead from this shit. And you're telling me the Pope? Come on, man. What's going on, Mr. Pope? You can't put a word in for your people? Oh, I get it. The Pope is not Italian. Isn't he some kind of like one of them, countries in South America? Isn't he from the South American country? He's not Italian. That's why he's not putting in a word for you guys. Oh, I get it. I'm sorry. He's not Italian. He may speak Italian, but he's not really Italian. His bloodline doesn't tie to Italy. That's what the fuck it is. That's why a lot of y'all are dying. But I'm saying, you got the Roman Catholic Church that's responsible for creating Christianity, and you're telling me they're succumbing to this particular virus more than anybody else around the world, even more than China? Could it be possible that Jesus Christ got the coronavirus over 2,000 years ago? That's why he's not allowed to save anybody, or he's not in a position to save anybody? Could it be possible? Because I'm saying, man, like, yo, the Pope, the vicar on earth, Jesus himself on earth, right? The one that have a one-on-one relationship with God and Mary and the saints and shit. And you telling me he can't put in a word for you Christians over there? Because I could guarantee you, I would say 90% of Italians are Catholic. I would say 90%. If I had to make an educated guess, 90%. Because you all hear Italian. I'm fucking Italian, man. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic. Okay. So what is Catholicism doing for y'all? I'm just saying. When is the Pope going to speak on your behalf? Or can't even the Pope speak on anybody's behalf? Because this character that y'all are worshiping doesn't exist. Think about it. 3.5 billion Christians, right? More than even Muslims and shit. And you're telling me everybody go to church every Sunday. Well, I don't know about this Sunday and shit, because I think church doors is closed. God that you worship actually allowed his doors to be closed. So how sanctified are these churches if the fucking church doors are being closed? So where is Jesus Christ at? Oh, I forgot. He actually got the coronavirus over 2,000 years ago and shit. That's why he ain't saving nobody. That's why no matter how much y'all pray for peace on earth, right, it's always death and destruction, because y'all praying to a fucking God, or not even a God, but a savior that doesn't exist, right? The Most High power is the only power, the creator of mankind. This God that y'all are praying to is none other than Satan, because the Bible says Satan is the God of this world. Y'all need to email the Pope and ask him why he have not put in a word yet for the Italians, because they are dropping like flies. Just something for y'all to think about, and ask again the question, why haven't we been tested? Because they don't want us tested. They want us to die. Those of us who are going to succumb to this shit. Okay, I haven't been tested, you haven't been tested, and I'm sure you've been feeling sick. I know I've been feeling a little something here and there and shit. I be having like 24-hour flu sometimes, believe it or not. Back in the days, because I don't get sick, because I eat healthy. And I follow the law, statutes, and commandments and the dietary law and eat healthy and shit. But anyway, family, something to think about. Shalom.